Hej and welcome to Fun Swedish and our YouTube channel. Idag ska vi prata om mat. Today we're going to talk about food and different words that you need, especially verbs, when you're cooking and talking in Swedish at the same time. So, in Swedish we are very obsessed with position, especially when you're talking about cooking. And for example, in other languages you can just say put it over there. But in Swedish, all depends on what you put and how you put it. So for example, if it's horizontal or vertical. And this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start with the first verb, and that is lägg. Lägg, it's how we say put. So when you're giving an order to someone, put it over there, for example. And in English, you can maybe use put for many different things, but in Swedish, lägg is only used for things that can be laying down horizontal. And to visualize better this verb lägg and how to use it, we're going to use different köksredskap so that you can see what kind of köksredskap is used with this verb. And köksredskap is how we say kitchen utensils in Swedish. The first one is en tallrik. En tallrik, this is something that can be laying down horizontal. So that's why it's a perfect thing, a perfect item where you can use the verb lägg. I would, for example, say lägg tallriken på bordet. Put the plate on the table. And lägg is perfect here because it's laying down. You don't put it like this or like that. No, you put it like this, horizontal. That's why it goes together with lägg. Lägg tallriken på bordet. Another example is this one. En skärbräda. That's how we say a cutting board. And this is also something that should be horizontal. Inte så. This way. Horisontellt. So that's why we also use the verb lägg to describe this thing. For example, lägg skärbrädan på bordet. Put the cutting board on the table. Lägg skärbrädan på bordet. And before we move on to the next matverb, don't forget to put a likea vår video if you liked it, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Tack snälla! Our second food-related verb, vårt andra matverb, är ställ. Ställ also means put, but it's used for things that kind of have a foot. Like basically it can be standing like this, alone. And it's not for things that are horizontal, because if it would be horizontal, the water would fall out. So it's used a lot for glass, and other things that have this kind of foot thing. I would, for example, say ställ glaset på brickan. Put the glass on the tray, because this can be standing. So that's why I say ställ. And of course, the bricka, should be horizontal. So this I would say lägg på bordet. Lägg brickan på bordet och ställ glaset på brickan. So that's how we say. So we use different words to say put depending if it's horizontal or if they have a foot and they can be standing like this alone. Same thing goes with a cup, en kopp kaffe till exempel. We would also say ställ koppen. Ställ koppen på brickan, because it's something that can be standing by itself because they have a foot. So that's why the best verb for this is ställ. Ställ koppen på brickan och ställ glaset på brickan. Ställ. Vårt tredje matverb, our third food-related verb, is one called set. Set also means put, and this is actually the one you can use in most situations. Till exempel, sätt kastrullen på spisen. Put the casserole on the stove. I could actually also use it for the other things I talked about before, but I still prefer to use ställ for the cup and lägg for things that are horizontal. But if you're going to learn one of these verbs, I recommend you to learn set, because I wouldn't feel that it's super horrible to use it in the other situations. So set is actually the one that is more like put it. I don't care so much about how you put it, just put it there. Sätt kastrullen på spisen. Then things get a little bit more complicated, lite mer komplicerat. So we have the verb set, put. And if you add a little preposition like på after the set, sätt på, then it means something completely different, or at least a little bit different. Basically, sätt på is how we say turn on. Sätt på vattenkokaren. Did you see? Sätt på. Put it on. Turn it on. Sätt på vattenkokaren. So, sätt på, turn it on. The opposite, turn it off. It would make sense to use the same verb, but we don't use it, at least not for machines like this one. Instead, we say stäng av. Stäng av. It's like we're saying close off. That's how we say stäng av. Turn it off. So remember, sätt på, turn it on, and stäng av, turn it off. So also very important verbs when you're talking about machines like the vattenkokaren and also the stove. Vårt fjärde, our third matverb is one that talks about volume. And this is stoppa in. Stoppa in means like put, tuck in or put in. So it's used a lot for things with volume. For example, this one, this is when you clean your utensils, the sticken, the cutlery, then you need to put them here so they can dry. And this put them in or tuck them in is stoppa in. So that's why I prefer to use the verb stoppa in for these situations, because I put them inside this diskställ. Vårt femte matverb, our fifth food-related verb, is one that we use when we're talking about liquids. Häll. Häll. It's kind of like the English pour. You use, I think it's called pour. You use it when you're talking about vatten, watered, or maybe sand, something that feels a little bit like liquid at least. Häll. Oh, and while we're on the topic, this is lagom. Lagom is this very Swedish concept. It's basically not too much, inte för mycket och inte för lite. Not too much, not too little. Lagom. Vi hällde lagom vatten i glaset. We poured, we put the lagom amount of water in the glass. So that was our video about different ways to say put in Swedish. We're going to do another video about this topic, about matverb, verbs you need when you cook. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next videos about this topic. Let's say this verb one more time, the last time. Lägg, ställ, sätt, stoppa in och häll. Good luck with this and go out now and cook and have a fun time with the verbs and with food in Swedish. Hej då, vi ses nästa vecka. Smaklig måltid!